You wake up, it's January 1st, 1999, what do you do first? Am I in my 1999 body and life or in my 2023 body?
8 years old, thanking my parents for the snack, but yelling at them that this is not what I meant when I said we need to buy Apple. It would raise a myriad of questions for me if my 8 years old suddenly started giving me financial advice. Honestly, if a young child of mine began giving me extremely specific financial and business advice at 8 years old,
I'd probably go along with it. At worst, it's a bit of money lost.
At best, your child is apparently some kind of wizard and you're 100 million up. When my son was in high school in 2005, he said buy Apple.
We did.
Funny story, I tried to get my dad to buy Berkshire Hathaway stock instead of doing a real estate project.
He didn't. I don't really blame him.
But the stock would be worth about $7.7 million now. The building project lost money, so, yeah. My brother begged my dad to buy Microsoft when they went public, but he didn't. He also went to college with an early Microsoft employee who cashed in her stock ASAP. She got $50,000 and used it as a down payment on a house, but imagine holding on to that for even a few years. I live in the Seattle area, so Microsoft was well known to college students and computer geeks in this area long before they were a household name. Edit, forgot to add my dad eventually did buy some $M stock, but he got it at basically its highest price and never made much from it. I remember my dad explicitly telling me when I was young that if I knew that a particular stock was going to go big, he would buy it. I think that was just him trying to explain to me how the financial markets worked, but he was also a man of his word, and I don't think he would have minded actually doing it. Sounds like your dad was testing to see if you had woken up that day after arriving from the future.
I want to have my 1999 body. There's some shit I gotta change and things I need to invest in.
Edit, this post has me feeling my age. I would be almost 7.25 years old on that day, so I would have to deal with the struggle of people ignoring me because I'd be a child then. Hearing a lot of people say that they wouldn't have been born yet is making the hairs on my head and face turn gray.
Same.
If I'm going to remain my current age, I'd rather just stay where I am now, otherwise, by the time 2023 rolls around again, I'm going to be in my 50s. Then again, being in my 50s now with well-timed Apple, Amazon and Bitcoin investments is probably a worthy trade-off.
Bruh, the real problem with going back and being the same age is no valid ID.
I've got a driver's license that isn't how they were made then, a 24-year discrepancy with my SSN, and the money in my pocket is bills that hadn't been printed yet.
I'd be completely effed.
If I go back and I'm 12, I don't have to figure out how I'm going to survive, I just have to convince my parents that I know how to get rich.
I'd have zero problems. Having a baby face would pay off for once. Be the bleeding edge of remote work so nobody needs to see your face. Hell, people don't even want to see IT's face anyways. Panic, because I would have to go through high school again.
With the knowledge I have now, I'd run that place within a month. Or you would just be a weird kid.
I've thought a lot about this type of question, since it gets posted every month.
I think anyone going back with the life history of someone 20 years older would kind of fuck them if they end up younger than their 20s or 30s.
Family would likely accept you as you are. But how do you hang out with your old friends?
You're all kids, but you're not the same anymore. Interests, maturity, personality, all drifts a bit. Dating would be weird to possibly creepy, especially trying to find someone you are with in the future.
Try to preserve any current things you have would be hard.
How would you court your future partner? You know too much about them, the early dates could get weird fast.
How do you do things better without breaking key moments that went right for you? Will changing things, for either personal gain or world betterment, affect the future you came from? My take.
I mourn the life I had, my child, the people I loved.
Then do something completely different. Don't try to recreate my past, because I can't. You'd be setting yourself up to fail.
If you go back as a kid, you may have knowledge, life experience, maturity. But you're still in the body of a kid, the biology and brain chemistry of a kid. It wouldn't be exactly like a 40-year-old in high school.
With my current knowledge?
Try not to freak out my parents by talking like I'm 32 years old. Exploit any and all knowledge of the future for financial gain.
Enjoy the fuck out of the pre-9/11 world for the next year and a half.
Edit, sorry, little over 2.5 years.
Woohoo! Oof. Didn't realize I wanted that last one. Question is, would you make the effort to warn everyone?
You'd be called a loon and crazy, but you can't just sit back and watch. If I woke up then, I still have a few months with my cousin. Her death is something I can't change, but I'd be thankful for the extra time.
Am I me as I am now transported to 1999 or me as I was back then but with today's knowledge?
Because if it's the latter, I get up and start making the tough decision on whether I want to play with my Easy Bake Oven or my PlayStation first. Then I'll consider if an 8-year-old can realistically find a way to avert 9/11.